Hi friends, good evening. Welcome everyone for today's session on doing business in Zambia. So continuing with our series on doing business in Africa. Before start, would like to acknowledge the efforts of Subhash for preparing this presentation. The legends use CIT, corporate income tax, ease of doing business, EODB, GDP, gross domestic product, PIT, personal income tax, VAT, value added tax, ZMK, Zambian kwacha is the again a currency of Zambia. Schema for the evening: country overview, setting up business, taxation system, exchange control regulations, immigration procedures, COVID impact and measures, and the conclusion. So let's get started, friends. About the country, again, demography wise, environment, sectoral contribution to GDP, business environment being sectoral contribution to GDP as of 2019, trading is 22%, mining and quarrying 12.4%, construction 8.8%, manufacturing 7.6%, education 5.7%, finance and insurance 5.5%. Top trading partners again are Switzerland, China, Congo, Singapore, and South Africa. Employment distribution, agriculture again, like many other African countries, agriculture here again has a main stake. Agriculture 48%, the employment distribution, services 41%, industry 11%. Ease of doing business, World Bank has given rating of overall rating of 85th rank. Ease of starting business is 117th rank. Major economic centers in Zambia, friends. Lusaka, again, most manufacturing enterprises are located here. Food processing enterprises such as milling, meat processing, and production of essential commodities such as detergents and other domestic chemical products are also concentrated in Lusaka. This city contributes around 25 to 30% of Zambian GDP. Kitwe, Ndola, and Chingola, Copperbelt province. Again, these are mining and industrial hub, friends. It contributes around 30% of GDP of Zambia. Livingstone, again, distribution point for agricultural products and timber. The town's secondary industry includes automobile assemblies, sawmilling, blanket weaving, and the making of furniture. Again, main spot for tourism in Zambia. Unemployment and poverty, again, population distribution by living conditions. Zambia ranks among the countries with highest levels of poverty and inequality globally. More than 58% of Zambia's population earn less than international poverty line of $1.9 per day, compared to 41% across sub-Saharan Africa. So yes, there is a good amount of unemployment and poverty in Zambia. But yes, apart from these, as we have seen, there are a lot of areas to focus when it comes to doing business. The reason for a low employment to population ratio is due to lack of population between the age of 15 to 65. So yeah, because there are less people from this working age of 15 to 65, that's the reason why there has been a high level of unemployment here in Zambia. Setting up of business. So business wise, how to set up business in Zambia. There are various regulatory authorities, friends. The first one being Patents and Company Registration Agency, that is PACRA, which is the registrar of companies. Zambia Revenue Authority, which is authority responsible for tax collection, and Zambia Development Agency, which is for trade and investment promotion, friends. Business structure wise, there's private limited company, public limited companies, foreign company, which is again regarded as a branch. Again, in private limited company, there are companies limited by shares, limited by guarantee, and unlimited company. The most common structure operated for doing business is private company limited by shares, as like in India. All the companies have to be registered with PACRA, which is a regulatory authority for companies. Incorporation procedure, again, first is reserving company name online. It takes 1 day. The cost would be around, this would be the statutory cost, would be around 290 Zambian currency. Declaration of compliance to be given in form 11. Again, it takes 1 day. Registration of company, submission of forms for incorporation, which takes 3 days. The cost would be around less than Zambian currency, the 1,000. Obtain tax number, again it takes 1 day. Register for social security, 1 day. Pay business levy to commence business activities, it takes 1 day. We have to pay ZMK 450. Register for VAT, again it takes 1 day. So you can see, friends, a company can be live in the span of max 10 days in Zambia. Other conditions: first, minimum capital for a private limited company, it is 15,000 ZMK. For public limited company, it is 15 lakh ZMK. Foreign company, again, it is not applicable. There is no minimum capital requirement when it comes to foreign company. Minimum directors in private limited it is 2, public limited is 3, foreign company is 1, maximum it can be 9. Number of shareholders, private again it is 2, maximum it can be 50. Public limited company it's not applicable. Again, for foreign company it's not applicable. Again, there's no requirement of a local director or local shareholder, friends, for incorporating a company in Zambia. The companies that require that at least half of the directors requires that at least half of the directors of a company must be resident in Zambia, including the managing director, at least one executive director. A foreign company is required to have a local representative who can be a Zambian and or a resident foreigner. So foreign company, again, there has to be either a Zambian representative or a resident foreigner. Taxation system. So let us now focus on the tax system here in Zambia. Again, the personal tax, it ranges from 25 to 37.5%, which has up to 4 slabs. Basic exemption limit is 39,600 Zambian currency. Standard rate for companies, it is 35%. Again, Zambia has GTAA with 22 jurisdictions. Capital gains tax, flat rate of 5%, 10% for transfer of mining rights. VAT, again, flat rate of 16%. Exports rate are zero rated. Withholding tax, dividend, interest, royalties, FTS 20%. If DTAA is in force, the rate ranges from 5% to 15%. Companies paying turnover tax of 4% will not be subject to CIT. Zambia follows calendar year for tax and accounting purposes. What are the various returns to be filed? First is withholding tax return, due date 14th of subsequent month. CIT, that is corporate income tax, that is 21st June of next year. PIT, personal income tax, 21st June of next year. VAT, 18th of next month. TDS, again, which is said a pay as you earn, PAYE, 10th of subsequent month. So these are the various returns or kind of income tax point of view. What are the various returns to be filed? Then we have tax stats, composition of tax revenue. So majorly it is from VAT, 13.92%. Other income tax is 9.98%. Customs, 18.06%. Pay as you earn, so TDS, like how we say TDS in advanced tax here, it is 24.53%. Corporate income tax is 15.51%. Tax revenue as a percentage of GDP, so it has increased year on year. So it was 14.39 in the year 2015, 13.35 2016, 2017 15.18, and 2018 16.16. Total tax revenue collected for CY current year 2000 calendar year 2019 is ZMK 46 564 million, which is roughly around 2.5 billion USD. Income tax, again, tax incentive. What are the various tax incentives? Reduce CIT of 10% on firms engaged in farming, agro processing, production of organic fertilizer and chemicals, and 30% on firms engaged in mining. So as we can see, friends, it's an agrarian economy. So agriculture is I mean, this given some incentives. Second most important sector being mining. So again, there are incentives for mining as well. Dividends paid out of farming products are exempt for the first 5 years of activity. A reduced CIT on 4% on turnover of for firms with turnover up to ZMK 8 lakh. Mining losses can be carried forward for a period of 10 years. In terms of VAT, input tax rate available on VAT paid on inputs, deferral of payment of VAT on import of capital goods, VAT exemption on transfer of business as going concern, zero rating of VAT on goods and services supplied or imported by developers of MFEZ and industrial parks and to business enterprises in such zone. Customs again rebate is available for whole or as the part of the customs duty in respect of machinery and equipment other than spares which are required for use of manufacturing activities located in a kind of special economic zone or an industrial park or rural area. Other incentives include duty drawback scheme and bonded warehouse facilities when it comes to customs. Exchange control regulations. So what are like how we have FEMA here? So how what exactly are the exchange control regulations here in Zambia? Forex regulations. There are no exchange control regulations in Zambia per se. On March 21, 2014, the Zambian government abolished exchange control regulations in an attempt to halt the rapid devaluation of kwacha, that is the currency of Zambia. 100% foreign ownership is allowed, and income can be repatriated abroad after withholding taxes. FDI inflows, if you see year on year, it has decreased. If you see in 2015, it was 1489 in million USD. 16, it was 1305 million USD. 2017, 1108. It got dipped to in 2018 drastically to 408 million USD. But thereon again, there has been increase. In 2019, it was 753 million USD, and it is expected for 2020 as well. Subject to COVID, there would be a tangible increase. Greenfield investments again. Number of greenfield investments, if you see friends, it has been 15 in 2017, again 15 in 2018, and in 2019 they increased to 20. If you see the value of greenfield investments reduced from 2017, it was 2008 million USD, which has now come to 625 in 2019. Foreign investment incentives. The Zambian Development Agency, that is ZDA, provides a variety of incentives for foreign direct investment, where an investment of USD 5 lakh or above is made in CES, industrial park, priority sector, or in a rural enterprise. The investor is eligible to obtain investment license from ZDA. The license provides various benefits such as accelerated depreciation on capital goods, 0% import duty on capital investments, investment guarantees, free facilitation for application of immigration permits, land acquisition, etc. So if you are investing around 5 lakh USD in any SEZ or industrial park, these are the benefits which would be available. Investors who invest at least USD 2.5 lakh in any sector or product not provided for as a priority sector or product are entitled to non-fiscal incentives such as investment guarantees and protection against state acceleration and protection against non-commercial risk. So the rewards are less when it comes to a USD 2.5 lakh, but more when it comes to, or there are various other fiscal benefits when it comes to 5 lakh USD or above. What are the various immigration procedures? Types of permit, again, there's short-term work permit, there is long-term work permit, there is investor's permit. Only an employer or practicing law or an immigration consultant can apply for employment permits or permits on behalf of a prospective expatriate. The individual expatriate cannot do this on their own. Applying for permits is to be done online at zambiaimmigration.gov.zm. COVID-19 impact and measures. So, how COVID has impacted Zambia as an economy. GDP expected to fall by 3.5% in 2020. The current account deficit is expected to worsen to 3.4% of GDP. Business disruption, the depressed commodity markets have pushed copper prices down by about 14% through May 2020, again, which will have an impact on the reserves of Zambia. Unemployment, huge number of job losses in the informal sector. Workers have reported depletion of savings to meet daily needs. Income inequality expected to worsen. What is the expectation of post COVID-19 scenario? Household and corporate debt expected to increase. Prolonged contraction of economy is expected till 2021. So till 21, there won't be any respite, and the economy will continue to downfall or degrade after 2021. Maybe in 2022, there is expecting of some revival. Measures taken. What are the various measures taken? Preparatory measures. Around 57 million ZMK to set up an epidemic preparedness fund under the Ministry of Health. 659 million ZMK to form a contingency and response plan under the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit. Government will release 2.5 million ZMK to reduce domestic arrears owed to domestic suppliers, reduce outstanding arrears to pensioners under Public Service Pension Fund, reduce outstanding third-party arrears and other employee-related commitments. 140 million ZMK was released to pay local contractors in the road sector. Tax relief, again, suspend excise duty on ethanol for use in alcohol-based sanitizers and other medical-related commodities. Suspend export duties on the export of concentrates in the mining sector to ease pressure on the sector. Suspend export duty on precious metals. So these are on the tax front. Conclusion, friends, as we have seen, unemployment and poverty is on a higher note when it comes to Zambia and compared with other African nations. However, contributing a mere 2.3% of GDP, agriculture employs around 40-45% of the total workforce. A shift towards service sector is required to adopt the path of developing countries. So, if at all their focus is changed from agrarian economy to a service sector oriented economy, there may be some growth and development in the economy. As far as starting business is concerned, removal of exchange control laws, providing fiscal and non-fiscal incentive based on the size of investments are incentives for foreign investors to set foot in Zambia. So the best part is there are no tight forex law when it comes to investing in Zambia or again repatriating funds from Zambia. Another, if the investment amount is more and also in some priorities and top sectors and industrial parks and SIS, there are various incentives available. So these were some of the thoughts, friend, on Zambia. Any questions would be happy to answer.